This video is to go over the syllabus for human anatomy. Usually teachers in the before time spend about an hour going over the syllabus. I have 15 minutes to go over the highlights. So our class is Tuesday and Thursday, and it meets from 9:35 to 11, then lab from 11:10 to 2:15, both in East 229. Both lecture and lab are mandatory. There are two ways to reach me. jpolis@dvc.edu. I get about 75 emails there a day. Second one is the inbox here. You could send me a message. And what's nice about it is it doubles it up when it sends it to that other email. So I'm like, oh, a student's emailing me. If I don't return your email within 24 hours on a weekday, it means that it probably got lost in the 74 other emails I got. On weekends, I'm a little bit more lax with replying. I'll probably reply during my office hour Monday morning. Now I have 5 hours of student contact hours set aside. While I am recording this 2 weeks before school starts, it is Monday and Wednesday, 8:15 to 9:30 in East 238, which is the physio lab or my office, or Tuesdays and Thursdays in the anatomy lab or my office at the same time. These are times I have set aside to meet with students and to answer questions. You are not interrupting me if you come to them. I might be doing something, but it's because I'm bored and I want to make use of the time. So, the rest of the syllabus, I have a table of content. I'm on Chrome right now, so it's not letting me page, but if you download it, it should let you go to different pages. So the COVID policy over the last year has been whittled down. It's no longer 3/4 of a page long, it's 5 bullet points. Key thing, if you are sick or have symptoms of anything, please stay home. I have online videos for the lecture, I have makeups for the lab, and I'm dropping the load to lab quizzes. So again, please stay home. And I would prefer you wear a mask, but the school has dropped that policy. This has its own page in the orientation module. Please view the orientation module. This is a lecture and lab class, 90 minutes of lecture, 6 hours and 10 minutes of lab, broken over 2 days. So you're in class a long time. And that's a great chance to ask me questions, especially in lab. The first 40 minutes I'm talking, the rest of lab I'm going around. If you see me playing around with something, it means nobody has questions and I'm bored. So you're expected to come on time for both lecture and lab and plan on staying the whole time. You might not, but plan on it. Now, this is a 5-unit class. It meets 9 hours and 10 minutes. So you should be studying between 15 and 27 hours, probably more towards the 27 hours than the 15 hours. This all has its own pages in the orientation module as well. 4 lecture exams, 80 questions, each plus possible essay questions. I tell you the possible essay questions in the study guide and I pick one. 4 lecture quizzes, that's so these have one less chapter on them. Again, there's a page dedicated to this in the orientation. Lab quizzes, likewise, there's a page dedicated in the orientation. Quarter of your grade, 12 quizzes. I drop any 2 except the last one because the last one's worth more points. They're 20 points except for the last one, and it's based on models and the histology slide. There are individual study guides in each week's module. I'll explain that somewhere else in the orientation module. And there's combined study guides from the before times when we had 4 tests that were 100 questions each. Now, most of the models are found on my webpage. I'll show you that the first day of class. We also have labs and lab checkouts. The checkouts are to let me know, do you understand things? They're worth 5 points, usually 2 to 5 points. Sometimes it's group, sometimes it's a survey on Canvas, sometimes it is you're writing something. Then you have the lab book activities. It's 15% of your grade. And I grade you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The lab book has been broken into 2 parts. Here's part 1, here's part 2. And this is actually, for the last 10% of your grade, there's going to be some online activities that just take information that's usually put on lecture tests and it puts them in little 20-point activities so you don't have 200 question lecture tests. I've done those, they're not fun. And by done those, I mean I have taken those. Then you have a histology project. You are going to have a little portfolio of histology slides, and you are going to basically submit them at different times. This is something new, so you guys are complete guinea pigs on this. And the hope is that you guys actually like histology instead of go, oh my goodness, there's 5,000 slides, there's only 84, and that you learn it. So that is the last thing right here, histology project, portfolio, and online assignments. So grading, 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 60 to 69 is a D. Below that is an F. Required material. There is a textbook on LibreText for you. I do not assign anything out of it. It's free. And the lab manual is also free. You guys need a box of disposable gloves, and you need it per your labs group of 4. So I would just talk about splitting a box of gloves. You do not need 80 gloves each. You need probably 30 gloves for your entire group. Attendance, you're expected to come and stay. You might lose participation points if you leave when you're supposed to be doing cadaver cleanup. And students that get low grades are the ones that leave after the first hour of lab. If you miss lab due to sickness, I have lots of makeup assignments. If you miss 4 or more classes, though, you may be dropped. Missed classes due to isolation because of COVID do not count towards that. This is taken from another teacher, but it's how to succeed. We'll do a discussion on this too, so I could get to it. Use the tutoring center is one big one. All of our models and histology slides are there. And we have 2 great tutors. Take pictures of everything. Make flashcards with those pictures. If I draw it, you should probably draw it too. Make study groups. This was big pre-COVID. I haven't seen it very much post-COVID. Rewrite your notes. Don't just keep your notes and look at them the day before the test. Rewrite them. And again, study a little bit every day. You should be studying 27 hours a week. Study 3 hours a day. That'll give you 21 hours. So, people that fall under American with Disability Act, DSS does not tell me anything. You need to go through their webpage. They send me emails. Please talk to me separately about this. They're trying to make it online and everything more streamlined. And by the end of last semester, it actually was fairly streamlined. People got used to it, but it's a learning curve. Academic, honestly, do not cheat. Do not look at other people's tests. Do not make up things. Do not plagiarize. Do not mess with other people's experiments. And you are not supposed to help other people. Now, this is especially for the histology project. I want your own slides, your own practicing labeling. I know in the past, people have shared pictures because I've just like upload 4 pictures of histology. I'm like, oh, I've seen this slide 6 times now. You need to do your own for that. Rules, don't eat, no cell phone. Then don't eat. Pick up after yourselves, clean the desk down, don't eat. Can you tell that's a big one? If it's not clear, ask me to clarify. Again, we're in class together about 9 hours a week, so please ask me questions during that time. I am there for you. And I also have 5 office hours a week, and I'm good at replying to email. You may take photos of everything except cadavers and human specimens. You are not allowed to take it based on our agreement to get the cadavers. Here are some important dates, and here's our class schedule. The lecture exams are every 4 weeks. I tell you what chapters they're on. And the lab exams are pretty much every other week. It's on 2 labs. Some of them, like the axonaptic cell, are on 1 lab. So you're going to be studying for the lab exams every single week. Now on this, you see how these are red, and there's no chapter 6 here. This is red, and there's no chapter 12. These are going to be online quizzes, open note, open books. Again, I explain that on the page where I talk about tests. This is so you don't have 20 question or another 20 questions and 6 chapters on the test. So basically it goes 5 lectures, then an online test. So that's the syllabus. Here's a little blurb on people get A's, B's, and C's. Again, I'm going through this fast, mainly because I have 15 minutes for this video, but also because when you go through the orientation module, I talk about grade breakdown, lecture exams, lab exams, assignments, uploads. So all of this is more detail later on. Thank you.